Linda McMahon on Columbia University's $200 million settlement, a new template for accountability. Imagine a groundbreaking deal that sets a new standard for addressing discrimination on college campuses. That's exactly what the Trump administration and Columbia University have achieved with their recent $200 million settlement, according to Education Secretary Linda McMahon. In a revealing interview with Fox News Digital at the National Governors Association NGA summer meeting in Colorado Springs, Colorado, McMahon highlighted how this historic settlement could serve as a blueprint for other colleges. "We're thrilled to have reached this agreement with Columbia, which acknowledges the serious issues of antisemitism and discrimination on their campus," she stated. "This settlement isn't just about money. It's a comprehensive plan that aims to foster a safer and more inclusive environment for all students. It includes stringent measures to combat antisemitism, eliminate discriminatory hiring practices, and enhance campus safety. The agreement is robust and far-reaching, ensuring that similar incidents are less likely to occur in the future," McMahon emphasized. But here's where it gets controversial. Some critics argue that such settlements might stifle free speech and academic freedom. However, supporters contend that the measures are necessary to protect vulnerable groups and maintain a respectful learning environment. For context, Columbia University has been at the center of heated protests over the conflict in Gaza, particularly after Hamas's attacks on Israel in October 2023. The university's handling of these protests has come under intense scrutiny, leading to this settlement. Columbia recognized that they had a significant problem and was willing to take proactive steps to address it, McMahon noted. This settlement also strengthens the university's collaboration with local law enforcement, specifically the New York Police Department, NYPD. Columbia now has a great working relationship with the NPD, which will help ensure that any disruptive or illegal activities are swiftly dealt with, McMahon added. And this is the part most people miss. The agreement includes strict rules against disruptive protests, prohibits mask protests, and ensures ongoing cooperation with the NYPD. They won't hesitate to bring in the police to make arrests if necessary. There will be consequences, including expulsion or suspension for students involved in criminal activity, McMahon warned. The accountability aspect of this agreement is particularly strong, sending a clear message that students must prioritize a safe and conducive learning environment. The goal is to create a space where everyone feels welcome and can focus on their studies without fear of harassment or discrimination, McMahon concluded. However, this settlement raises questions about the broader implications for free speech and academic freedom. What do you think? Should universities prioritize safety and inclusivity over unfettered expression? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Will Harvard follow Columbia's settlement? The battle for academic independence. Will Harvard follow Columbia's lead? The 200 million question dividing academia. The battle over university independence has reached a boiling point, and Harvard's next move could redefine higher education forever. But here's where it gets controversial. Can America's most iconic university resist federal pressure without sacrificing its values or financial stability? While Columbia University recently struck a landmark $221 million deal to restore frozen federal funds, agreeing to reforms including anti-Semitism definitions, admissions policy changes, and government monitoring, Harvard faces mounting pressure to follow suit. Yet critical differences suggest an explosive showdown ahead. Columbia's 22-page settlement requires sharing student data with Homeland Security, revising disciplinary processes, and eliminating race-conscious hiring, a direct ripple effect from the 2023 Supreme Court ruling against Harvard's affirmative action policies. Here's the twist. Columbia framed these concessions as protecting academic freedom, insisting the government won't control faculty hires or curriculum. But critics argue it sets a dangerous precedent, one the Trump administration explicitly wants Harvard to replicate. This isn't just about money, it's about survival, warns Harvard government professor Stephen Levitsky, reflecting widespread concern among faculty. Supporters urge Harvard to stand firm after months of legal battles defending its autonomy, including rejecting demands to share international student disciplinary records. Yet the stakes keep rising. New endowment taxes could cost Harvard $1 billion annually, while federal threats to its visa programs and research funding intensify. But here's what most people miss. Columbia's deal isn't purely punitive. It strategically resumes federal funding immediately while spreading reforms over 3 years. A pay-to-play model some alumni groups praise as pragmatic. Former Harvard President Lawrence Summers called it higher education's best day in a year, suggesting it could inspire similar agreements. Yet conservative reformers, like the Heritage Foundation's Adam Kissel, insist Harvard must pay for its failures next, framing Columbia's penalties as overdue accountability. The clash exposes a fundamental tension. Should universities negotiate with a government pushing policies like banning transgender athletes or dismantling diversity programs? Columbia's agreement quietly endorsed these broader Trump priorities. Alarming free speech advocates. Crimson Courage, a Harvard alumni group, condemns the existential threat of federal extortion, while Columbia reformers argue measurable progress requires compromise. Here's the billion-dollar question. Can Harvard, with its $53 billion endowment and courtroom victories, hold out indefinitely? Or will mounting financial blows and political pressure force a surrender? The administration's latest salvo, a State Department probe into Harvard's visa programs, hints at an escalating war of attrition. As Harvard President Alan Garber vows to protect intellectual independence, analysts note a critical difference. Columbia couldn't afford a prolonged fight. Harvard can, for now. But with federal retaliation costing millions monthly and alumni divided, the clock is ticking. So we ask you, is Harvard's defiance heroic preservation of academic freedom or reckless stubbornness? Should elite universities negotiate with governments, or does every concession erode their purpose? The comments await your verdict.